Hey guys, welcome to Outdoor Inc. Tip of the Week. Today we're going to be going over drop shot fishing for smallmouth, particularly in the northern part of the country. I'm from Wisconsin, so typically what I would use in drop shot situations in the state of Wisconsin in the northern part of the country. I'm going to start with my rod and reel line combination, and then I'm going to move over to hooks and baits and weights. Those are your three parts of your drop shot system. Very critical pieces to put it all together for a successful day of fishing. We had a great weekend, past weekend of fishing on a local lake here in Wisconsin. Lots of big smallmouth. But I could only get them to bite the drop shot. Yeah, I tried to, jerk bait, swim bait, all this other stuff, but the drop shot was king, so I thought I'd go through that for this week's tip. So I'm going to start with my rod reel line combination, and I'll move on to my hooks. So, alright guys, this is my rod reel and lines combination that I use for drop shot fishing for smallmouth and largemouth. I like to keep things very basic and affordable. I'm a working guy, and so are you, so let's keep this affordable. All this rod is a 6'6" medium power action St. Croix Triumph. Very basic reel. I think it $80-90 bucks for the reel. I love this reel because it's got a really strong backbone, really thick backbone for lifting or fighting real big fish, especially smallmouth with them big runs. And it's got really fast tip, so really working that rig back, which is key. Very subtle, stuff like that that we all know for fishing smallmouth. Perfect rod. It's not a split handle like most bass rods are. It's more of a walleye type rod. But I always hold my my rods up on this section so I can get a lot better feel and fight. So that's how I do it. But the line is very critical. I absolutely no mono. I've used mono in the past. You just don't get the feel, especially like this week. We're in a river current situation, so you definitely need this. This is actually 8-pound Berkeley Nanofill, and it's very nice for especially for current. Number one, and two is the feel. The feel is unbelievable. You can almost feel it in your shoes when these fish hit. And then typical smallmouth, very light bite. So 8-pound Berkeley Nanofill or braid, any braid. I like a light braid. I don't like to use any 15-pound over. I like to use like an 8-pound. I think that's perfect. Real small diameter line. And then of course I got this directly tied, no swivel, to a 6-pound fluorocarbon. This just happens to be Suffix 100% fluorocarbon. Any 100% fluorocarbon is key for fishing these fish, and of course a direct tie from the braid to the fluorocarbon. Again, guys, let's go over hooks for a second. These are 3 sizes of the hooks. I believe this is 3, 2, and 1. I'm not 100% on that, but just a typical drop shot hook. I like it's got a little bit of a bend to it on the inside. Just real simple stuff. Just your basic drop shot hook. I mean, nothing too crazy. And then I'm gonna go over to our weights here. This is an 1/8 ounce, more like I said, more of a pencil style weight. And then this is 1/4 and 3/8. We're using a 1/4 this week. This because we had current involved. The 1/8 you just couldn't get down there, and then of course the 3/8. That's current situation with very deep water. 20 plus feet of water with current. You want to be able to feel the bite and make sure you get down there very good. And then as we get up here, I'm going to show some different baits I like to use. There's basically 3 different types of baits that are used with drop shot fishing. You have your minnow styles, and then of course a worm style, but basically more with a Senko style or a worm. And these two either nose hooked in the front here, or wacky style in the middle, which is very effective, especially for largemouth. But this guy with the regular worm, very effective, full worm, just nose hooked for largemouth and smallmouth. This weekend we're using the old staple Kevin Van Dam Strike King Dream Shot, particularly in the watermelon blue flake or watermelon with red flake. Just another example though is this is a Berkeley power bait twitch tail minnow. Works very well. Any minnow style bait. This one works very well because it's got a real subtle action tail. Doesn't need a lot of water to move. For pressured smallmouth or anything like that, it works really good. Alright guys, thanks for watching this week's Outdoor Inc. tip of the week. Great information on drop shot fishing smallmouth. Anything from rod, reel, line, hooks, baits, and weights, which is your everything to bundle it together to be successful. This can be used throughout the country. It works very particularly well up here in the north for smallmouth and largemouth. Just a great tool to have. And those are all my secrets, I guess you could say, of drop shot fishing. So thanks, and be sure to keep on here for more tips like this one. So appreciate it. Thanks from Outdoor Inc.